Phantom Lancer.
Yeah.
The fact that people like Era back on Fnatic would go Tranquil Soul Ring, then go into Drums and Yasha, and just go to the jungle and farm up. People are starting to go into Midas now on PLs, which feels like you're really losing out on the mid-game potential of that hero.
Yeah, I don't like Midas. I think it's like, I honestly think it's completely unnecessary. If you get a mask over Midas, it lets you get around places faster. It lets you not only attack faster, but kill stuff faster, which means that it actually just outdoes the effectiveness of Midas. Like, if you consider Midas as a passive 30 attack speed, which is what it is, as well as around 200 gold, and I know it depends on the creep that you Midas, but you can just assume maybe 200, 250 EXP every minute and a half to 2 minutes. This Mask of Madness will give you much more than that. Much more. It'll make you fight better, it'll make you run away better, get around better. It's just a greater item right now. If any hero had the choice between Mask of Madness and Midas right now, barring squishies like SF who have to show themselves in the lane are very susceptible gank targets, I would say Mask of Madness is 100% better.
How am I getting added by like 20 people? Out of nowhere, like I've been casting for JD for about 2 months and random people haven't added me on stream before. All of a sudden today, about 10 people just added me out of nowhere. I don't know how they've found me. Begins. But anyway, top rune gonna get contested here. Decent Fisher lane down. Smash gonna take that one up. Fear with the bounty rune bot.
Oh man. Not today, rotated 5 heroes to guarantee that bounty rune, and even with a decent Fisher, EG just said, nope, we're not doing this.
Yep.
Smart. That was good.
Mel on this mid lane. There are a couple of pull tangos there, so he's going for the full-on bottle rush. Razors first, you reckon, against the TA? Oh, this lane with TA against Shadow Fiend.
Oh dear, this is a Spirit Breaker with boots coming to try and zone. Not sure how successful that'll be.
TA loses this lane now. Like, yeah. I'm not sure how bad it used to be, but when I was playing TA in pubs against the Shadow Fiend, I would feel really happy. I'm just going to crush the lane outright. But now when I'm watching professional players with the buffed SF, people like G, I've watched him twice now play SF against TA, and he's not just won the lane, but he's like tripled or quadrupled the CS.
Yeah, that's all you really have to do with SF against TA, which is such a very it's a stale carry type of hero. It guarantees mid most of the time, and they say it's a good snowballer, but SF is not only better at snowballing, it has more item options too, especially with the Yules now, and TA can get Yules. I mean, there's no denying that, and it's something that people can experiment with, and I'm sure they have. But SF with Yules, you know, you Requiem on top, and just all hell breaks loose.
Now, there was something quite interesting I saw over here. Universe has been sending his ball back down to the jungle. He's not doing it right now, but they were stacking up like 3 or 4 camps at once. PPD is taking this game super seriously. They've got Aoi stacking. They've got Aoi stacking 1 camp. Universe's ball stacking another. PPD stacking a 3rd camp. While Fear is still on the lane. The whole 4 poison stacks. Get a couple more. It's still level 1, but it does a lot of damage when it builds up.
I do think it's quite surprising to me that Universe has 7 CS in this offlane already. I don't think this should be happening, just simply put. I kind of put it on Mystico for not having lane presence here, because he walked mid and kind of accomplished nothing. Then he walked bottom trying to sap EXP and only just got zoned out by the Shadow Demon, whose stacking is kind of unhindered still, because Spirit Breaker is not going to do anything against that. So I would say EG already off to a tremendous advantage at the start. Even though the stacks haven't been farmed and numbers might not be showing much of a difference, it's all for the future, and EG just have a really great setup in terms of a very shortly coming future.
Yeah, preparation is all there for them right now. But the Spirit Breaker is one of these really strong heroes that can just sit on lane and leech experience. He needs level 2. For the charge and bash to just go and run at Sumail, run at the top laner. Universe on his Beastmaster, he's got decent armor with the Ring of Protection, probably going to be Tranquil Boots and Soul Ring for him, I'm guessing. But his HP pool isn't that great. 700, 1 bash plus Ifrit jumping in with the Whirling Axes, he could drop relatively quickly.
Yeah. Again though, he's still farming way too well in this offlane. You can't let the enemy offlane have this kind of start when your bad rider is just in the woods and your support's not really getting much as well. This Mystico is still level 1 and EG's doing like a complete zoning job of this safe lane. As a matter of fact, Fear's starting to tank up the creeps. He has a stout and Ring of Protection as you called out earlier, but he can just topple. One of the nice things about the PL on the safe lane right now is you topple and you just have one of those illusions that have complete tankiness, like 100% tank. and it just soaks up all the creep push. It's really nice. But speaking of push, EG's gonna push a little bit here, I think.
Yeah, they single pulled. They've got the catapult wave now, and with Fear pushing in, he saved up 1,500 gold. Is it going to be that fated item, the Midas?
You know what? It might be, but I certainly hope not. I think he bought it.
Yep, recipe is on its way. I just keep looking back to the CS board, and all I can see is 20 last hits for Sumail and 10 match at this mid lane. The TA, you know, not being dominated, but it's not going well for him.
I would say this is pretty good domination. I think, yeah, at 4 minutes in. Remember, like this is without stacks, and this SF will have stacks. This TA will not have anything. This Bad Rider is farming up everything, and unless they start stacking ancients, which they have,
bottom tower is under
the
attack.
TA won't be able to jump or spike as hard as the SF will. And again, SF outscales this TA so hard. So.
Yeah. I guess I'm just comparing it to, you know, when I saw G the other day, and it was literally 30 last hits up against 3 or 4 of the TA.
Oh my god,
like, that's what I call domination.
Yeah, that's a stomp. There's no coming back from that. That's when you have to just say, alright guys, I need some help here. I have single digits, he's got double, maybe triple. I don't know what to do. Yeah. Just call for support, call for ganks. That's all you can do in that situation.
Try and keep the SF down. Sumail heading back to base with this. Tackle finished off. Magic Stick. Going to be pretty useful if the line of Bat Rider do decide to rotate in, and the Midas arrives in Fear's hands.
Oh dear. 5 minute Midas.
Oh well. We'll see what he does with it. Next item is going to be the more interesting. Well, no. Item after next will be the more interesting. He's going to go, you know, treads and then something. Up on this top lane, Universe is level 5. You were mentioning how they've given him quite a lot of room up here just to get gold experience. Tranquil Burst,
he's pulling. This is what Beastmaster does. They actually just pull the side camp like this. And with the board, if you have just one support zoning, it's like very hard to contest because the board can actually just fight the support fairly well. He's getting way too much in this offlane, simply put. He's actually gonna hit level 6 just after the troll, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. And EG's winning the safe lane ridiculously hard as well because Mystico here he's only level 3, and I think they actually had kill potential on the SF, but because the Earthshaker was missing, they just don't know. They can't really go on.
Where has Aoi been this entire time? Has he still stacking camps?
Yeah, that's his job. When you pick this hero and you pick SF first too, you know this guy has one duty for the first 10 minutes, and he's doing a good job of it.
Can we try and estimate how much gold is actually being stacked up here? Well, I guess some of them have been taken already, but there's what, like 450 or something in that large camp there that PPD's been working on. Medium camp not stacked. Then there's a large camp over there, which is what, 30 or something like that over on the left. So altogether, the entire jungle is worth about 1,000 gold.
Yeah, and 1,000 gold, that happens in an instant basically with SF's raises at this stage of the game. It's just like having like another player or something for the time being. That's just the efficiency of a Shadow Demon support being able to stack multiple camps with poison and Earthshaker guaranteeing survival for better scaling your mid lane. It's probably one of the best supports, if not the best support in this patch, Earthshaker.
Yeah. Now Van has gone for the straight blink. A couple of times I've seen him go for, you know, Tranquil's bottle, then blink, slowing things down. But that's quite often when he does stick onto the off lane. That's when he's got a lane to actually go to. Occasionally I've even seen him go for Boots of Travel in his first time. It does increase his farming speed and allows him to join in team fights where, you know, he's farming the enemy jungle especially, and he just make a run down. He'd Firefly in, take the enemy jungle, and then TP back to lane or somewhere, farm his own. But Blink here I feel is super necessary. You've got to find kickoffs right now. In fact, they're going to try up on top. Whirling Axes onto Universe, the Earth Spike, and a couple of right clicks. More than enough to kill off Universe, but his job has been done. He's level 6, he's got Soaring Tranquils, Ancients, not stacked up, but pretty happy with this.
Yeah, he's more than happy, honestly. This is so big for him. And they pick off Sumail at the mid lane with the Bad Rider initiation from the blink, because I do believe he picked up a smoke as well, but I'm sort of more in awe at how fast he farmed the woods. This is a around 7 minute blink deck for this Bad Rider, who didn't start with the bounty room, and I believe he had mud golems once as well, so...
Oh really?
I'm actually gonna have to rewatch that later to see how he did it. He might have done that trick that was posted on recently on Reddit, where you can stack all 3 camps. That was quite interesting.
Well, you can do that with Bat Rider?
Yeah, you can stack all 3 camps on Radiant and Dire with Bat Rider. Because people normally don't do it, right? They just stack at like the specific timing, like 53.
Yeah.
The one guy that posted it on social media, what he did was he stacked it, one of the camps from like 46, So on the return, like if you time it properly, they will just re-aggro themselves to the Firefly at 53.
Okay.
So it's just a timing thing. Yep. And since Bad Rider's playing Firefly just lasts so generously for 18 seconds, you can pull it off. It's quite nice.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple of times, YouTube video and on social media, the Lina stacking the jungle and following the jungle. I even saw Miracle do it. His new team 5 He's been switching from like support to core role. They're just still trying to find their stride. But he ran this support Lina, which hit level 6.5 about 6 minutes in. So he was running around with arcane boots and Laguna Blade, 6 minutes in.
Holy smokes.
All of a sudden, support just evaporating. Kind of the same thing. With the Dragon Slave, you can stack. Obviously, you can right-click the large and the medium cap over here. And then with long-range Dragon Slave, you can actually hit that cap down there as well.
Wow. You have to practice something like that. That's quite nice.
Unfortunately, banned double mod golems.
Yeah. Not something he wants to see as Bad Rider, but the golems look quite happy. All their hunchback form walking away as they await Troll's presence to die.
Nifrit with that mold mask does give the potential for one of the supports to sit on lane, get up to level 6, and I'm looking at you, Mr. Lion. He's actually already level 6, so really got the tranquil boots, self-sustaining once he reaches a couple more points in that mana drain, and Lion is another one of these heroes where I'm on the verge of saying that one of his skills is overpowered. We were doing the maths earlier when we were watching a sadly staging game, CSW against Rave, I believe it was, and there was Lion against Medusa. The fact that Lion with Mana Drain does something like 1500 damage with just that 5-second spell, well, equivalent of damage, he's draining the mana. PPD might go down here, Smash chasing him up the hill, but Owie with the long range.
Oh, EG team block!
Oh my god, now Bat Rider in, the side blade splashing through as well. Universe is going to be the third to fall as the triple kill goes the way of Smash. That Fisher!
My goodness! That has to go. That is the Dota equivalent of Shaq Tin of Fool right there. That has to be something. Oh my gosh, that was perfect. Universe actually came in for the wrong team. Double bore up as the second one was finally expiring and about to give room for his team to breathe. He said nay. And oh my goodness.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Not only the Fisher, but the double bore blocking the path as well.
Yeah, I mean the Fisher blocked one end, so they can't escape the way into the other if they want. They just said, okay, we'll hold up right here, come get us. And with the Bat Rider as well as the Templar Assassin, that's exactly what they did.
Oh wow, first with the Roar touching, go for the Troll, but Wild Axes are thrown and a Fisher to lock in the line as well. Disruption and Poison, they're going to keep stacking this up, and he's really not long for this world. Owie even throwing out the Echo Slam there. The takedown as Lion as quickly as possible. Smash picks his head over the cliff and says, not today.
I mean, honestly, things are still fine. Sumail is still ridiculously farmed, and they just got 2 very, very big return kills, which kind of gave them the return for the EXP and other things, but that was quite a sight to see, for sure. Sumail has heals. He dropped the one item, I think. What did he drop just now? He dropped his belt in preparation for the Treads, and was actually about to go make a play on the TA because he has 5 stick charges and Fear was TPing in front. No avail because I think he reacted a little bit too slow, which was ironic because his reactions are normally like one of the fastest in the game.
Requiem ripped through Refraction.
Yes.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Of course, you need the specific number of instances, but yeah.
Yeah. It's possible.
Yeah.
See what Sumail does with that one. Smash and Ifrit heading into the road pit here with a lifesteal on Troll. Turn to melee form. The minus armor from level 4 meld. Where has Smash got all these levels from? Because he was looking pretty down in the dumps a couple of minutes ago until that triple kill. Got pretty much on it.
Oh yeah. That kill pretty much gave him like probably a level and a half, maybe 2. And honestly, not dying actually has a lot to do with it.
Oh, here goes Sumail. Roach is already falls. He's picked up by the Troll. Requiem lands on 2 of them. But not the close range damage that they would have expected. Troll now is going to drop his first life there. But man, trapping Sumail up on the cliff. Hawks go down, Sumail burning through the fire and the flames, takes the first life of the Troll with a well-placed raise. Yules now keeps him alive just a little bit longer. Can he survive through this? Will Firefly expect? He turns back around, Ifrit drops!
Oh my goodness.
What? Meanwhile, on the back end, Fear just keeps on trucking. Smash drops, like you said, these illusions, ripping through the fraction. Spirit Breaker is level 7 though, takes down Fear, the PL, one after another. But you've got to say, not today taking the brunt of that one. Even with Smash.
Oh, no match.
Still with a Smash's damage, the TA. But not today took Roshan. They lost Troll twice, plus a couple of other heroes. EG with Shadow Fiend and PL going down, they're still going to continue farming once they come back up. I'm not sure who actually comes out on top in this one. In fact, looking at the fight recap, it's almost even.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those engagements where necessary things happen for both sides, and it's all about the recovery at this point.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest factors of that fight was that Sumail, after he got lassoed onto the cliff, he actually found the blind spot from the Firefly. Like somehow, I think Van actually flame braked him, still on the hill, but to an area where he wasn't Firefly. And he survived all that time because the Firefly damage wasn't on him, ticking at him for 60 damage per second, including reductions. And he was just able to dish out like what 300-400 damage on the bat and halfway kill the troll on the return. It was way too much. Like something so small, such as something so trivial as such like a Firefly, to finish off a target actually saves him and changes the course of the fight.
Yeah, the fact that he couldn't then be touched either. Because Troll was like, okay, well, where is the Shadow Fiend? I can't hit him. Batrider's gone down to the low ground already. And yeah, Sumail basically managed to find a path. I don't know if it was through these trees or if he got stuck up there. He turned around, a couple of raises onto the Troll to finish off his first life, and then when he came back up, another couple of raises when they came off cooldown.
Yeah, and of course when he died, he has that huge requiem just saying his last goodbye to the world, dealing damage to the
final breath, killing people.
Exactly, the final FU.
Refusal is Fear's item, not going for any form of boots, so pretty much along the lines you were saying, boots and travel are really good.
The movement speed, man, it's everything on this hero.
The fact that you can play kind of like a Spectre, you know, split pushing a lane with illusions, dip back into Ancients, go into the jungle, build up your illusion army again, keep on farming, then TP into the team fight when you're really needed. And when you've got a Hawk and a Boar from the Beastmaster, there's always going to be that target. It's not like you're going to be waiting for a creep wave, there will always be a minion to TP. Risky Blink gets caught by the trap and slowed down. Screwbreaker will charge onto him now. He gets fingered and hexed up. Earthspike, he catches Sumail. Great timing there from the Lion as EG. This is like a complete round. Not today in a slicing through them, but it is still losing damage. Fear has joined in. Takes down 2 as soon as he enters. Sumail hasn't fallen. So even with that great Earthspike and the setup from not today, they just didn't seem to have the actual follow through. And yeah, I can see your camera looking at TA. Where was she?
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of AoEs as well as targets that she can't finish off. She doesn't. The one thing I don't like about this Phase Boots Blink build is that while it makes you feel comfortable with, I don't know, 24 extra damage and just the mobility in general, if you get Phase Boots with the Blink, you honestly don't have attack speed. And in that fight at the Roach Pit too, I saw how he actually tried to attack Fear a couple times and like attack walk, A-walk, but he couldn't get it off properly because his Phase Boots didn't give him the attack speed he needed. Like whereas a Treads, you would have probably done like 15 less damage, but you would have gotten your attacks off.
Is under attack.
Change the course of how things go. So personally, I don't really like the Phase Boots TA unless you're gonna go drums, Manta or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna mention when you do see Phase Boots TA, quite often you do see the race bubble. You just go straight into the drums, Manta, or at the very least, and maybe BKB or Deso next, depending on how things are going. But
yeah, this hero honestly, it works similar to Gyrocopter. When you have refraction charges, you want to get rid of it fast because that's your buffer, the point of your power spike. And like Gyrocopter, when he has flat cannon, you don't want to be attacking at the speed of a snail. It honestly doesn't matter if you have 6 rapiers, if you're getting like Phoenix, like attacking at the speed of like the Phoenix Spear or something, it's just not going to work.
That's just going to be one lane. We're going to see disruption there. He's catching out. Looks like the Spirit Breaker. Charge on cooldown another 5 seconds. Turns around and tries to never strike PPD. But Universe having none of it today. I was going to say, yeah, you're mentioning Fire Spirits, but Universe has this Boar. The Boar gives negative 40 attack speed. So the TA is not going to be hitting at all.
Honestly, again, TA and Troll, they're very susceptible to kiting. Troll Warlord usually, you mentioned the race car, and Troll Warlord is pretty much the definition of it with his Phase Boots and S and Y usually, and on top of that, normally they go for Scotty as well. So they try to mitigate that to an extent, but EG, again, they have really good kiting potential with their lineup. So I know the score is 9-10, but I still think they have the advantage right now in terms of scaling. This PL too, you know, you see him when he goes into that fight like that and he doesn't die. He's the one that's wrecking everybody. Again, I did say not that they have good pick-off heroes, but they have never rotated into the enemy safe lane yet, and Fear has felt so comfortable that his tier 1 tower has only taken 100 chip damage, give or take a few.
And that's when he's left the lane to go and help the rest of his team.
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, to that extent, you know, you're feeling so comfortable in the safe lane that your PL is the one TP. It's like having, I mean, it's not the same as an MLG because PL can actually fight, but I mean, your hard carry that wants to dedicate to like a 4v1, 4 protect 1 type of strategy is TPing into a fight is quite a big deal.
The net worth graph does look a little bit back and forth, but I fully agree with you. But I just want to add that
Dyer's
EG,
bottom tower is
even
under
if they...
attack.
Oh, wait for it. Fuse played that, I thought Finn might go for it, so it's still scared of what's possibly behind the trees, but the rest of his team is there. Yule's now under control, Sunel wants to get the last hit with a raise. And in the back end now, with the extra slam on the 2, Requiem are going to slow down the Spirit Breaker as well. Charge on cooldown, no escape. Once again, not today, caught down with ban on this Bat Rider. No target to go on. Slash with a first approach BKB. Almost gets taken down.
Did somebody buy back that point? Oh, so EG they actually just lost one player. Wow.
Yeah.
That was good. That was very good.
Just walking straight in there. What was it? Oh yeah. Base pushing for them. EG have Orc to give vision, they've got long range Fisher plus Link potentially on Aoi once he gets some items. He's been really poor this game. PPD, pretty poor himself, but they've been doing their job. They've got illusions from PL, they've got vision from Universe on this Beastmaster, and Sumail, he's pretty good high ground pusher as well. He can just stand up there with the defensive capabilities of Yule's mech and then possibly Blink Dagger next. It's not really too difficult to actually go up there.
Yeah, honestly, this guy, you can rely on him to have his farm on his items every time. Like 20 minutes in usually, like the Dota standard is like a good or free farming carry has anywhere between like 4.5 to 5.5k per 10 minutes, and people think it escalates better. But if you include fights, that's like the overall average that lasts until probably about. It applies to like 40 minutes usually. So at 20 minutes, if you see a carry or any hero or player that's 10k net worth, it's pretty good. If you watch Sumail's matches, I think you might have been there for yesterday's game for EG as well when they played against Pain.
Yeah.
His Void actually had a record that or in my head a record because I've never seen it before. He had
Dyer's top tower
14k net worth at 20 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen that in a competitive match.
I think the stat came out, we had a statsman there, he was the 7th highest net worth at 20 or 25 minutes of all time across all patches that that Dota has. And I think it was the most farmed Void at 20 minutes. Yeah.
In recent time for sure. I mean, like maybe there was an Alchemist back in the day that had a little bit more, but honestly, like it was just ridiculous. This guy actually gets he averages like 11 to 12k net worth at every like 20 minutes every single game when he gets one of his heroes, like Storm or SF. He just doesn't. Yesterday Void.
I think the only heroes that really did beat out that Void were Antimage, Luna, Gyrocopter, and Alchemist. So the fact that they could just go and farm a bunch of stats.
Yeah. You know what, he just picked up a full Necro Book.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought, well, we'll come back to this. It's pretty interesting, but it comes back to what I was saying. The high ground potential is pretty good right now with the Necro 3. What's stopping them?
Honestly, this SF hero, if you just look at that design, yes, 3 spells per wave, good pulse, hold that thought, there's a fight.
They've got fear. Lasso, fingered.
Ancient stack, that was a bold move.
But now they've got the Roar to smash. He does pop his BKB first, but look at those Necro units ripping through. Presence in the dark force makes those things so damn powerful.
Dyer's middle tower has fallen.
They're dealing with the minus all from that. Great Yules up the Spirit Breaker, caught now with the Fisher. Separating from the rest of the team, the great divide. And Lion probably going to be the third to fall here as Sumail, racking up kill after kill.
Yeah, the presence is honestly too heavy. Like, yeah, they're just going to go high ground with this Necro Book. Not today again, a whole bunch of single targets as well as a pick-off. They can't really win a heads-up team fight against EG's lineup because the EG just has much better spells, better ultimates. And yeah, with this Necro Book, I think Sumail is demonstrating the true power of this SF hero. I mean, people looked at mech, they started really not liking the mech. Hold that thought, Sumail's going in for this also.
The Fisher is not going to catch ban, a couple of raises will take him down. So he got a little bit overzealous there. He can fight back. Lasso's off cooldown in 13 seconds, but...
TA is down for 10, they can't fight. Well, EG's just going to back it out for safety anyways. They can just do this again when Necro Book is up again in like 1 minute or less than a minute. They can also just go for Roshan, which is just spawn. Either way, they're still in complete control of this game. But I think Sumail is demonstrating the potency of this hero. You have this ultimate that does massive AoE magic damage it's not exactly a ravage since it doesn't stun, but it does apply a slow damage reduction and I think it huge amounts of burst. He has a...
Oh, doppelganger there, saving him just about, getting over the ravine and back into the trees.
Oh. Just going back to the SF again, he has those abilities. He has the presence of the Dark Lord, which, if you think about it, is just the reverse AC, or the offensive capability of AC, since it reduces the AoE armor. And again, just 3 wave clear abilities that lets him farm ridiculously fast, and a snowballing lane ability which gives him 72 damage. Basically a relic, if you want to think about it that way. It's by design one of the most powerful heroes in Dota, and with the given the item choices that are available in this game, between Yules, between Blinks, it's certainly first pick material.
PPD stacking up poison. Yeah, I'm going to fully agree with you. It's just that everyone saw him as this super squishy mainer, and Bam takes that PPD, but the Roar comes down onto the Power Rider. Wild Axe is doing plenty of damage, and one raise thrown out there just as a deterrent, really. So Power Rider, stay the hell out of my face. PPD mechs up, and don't survive a little bit longer. Smell has been X, as Fear comes in from the side. Echo Slap, thrown out by Aoi, and not today, are being shredded. Requiem, Sumail timing it. It's going to be a little bit slow. He cancelled it that sort of second or third time. Really necessary.
Oh, I wish he had his signature blink right now. He might just go into the shop and buy it. In the meantime, Mystico gets picked off or finished off rather. Will he be spotted? Unlikely.
He did. He went in, sold TP.
It's Sumail, dude. He goes for all 3 of these clutch plays, and he would have bought the blink anyway. But again, it's Sumail. Like, he's really good at this stuff. He's a playmaker.
I really like it when, you know, as like, sort of a layman, as I am, I do stuff like that when I walk in the shop and I'm prepping myself already, right-clicking something, getting ready to sell it as I go in, then open the shop and get something queued up, instantly buy it. It feels good when you do stuff like that.
Yeah, it does. You make it the highlight reels.
Oh yeah. Blinking back, Ryan gets caught by the Requiem, not to a third thing, Vicious heals him. Now Fear. You've got no escape from this one, no instant, nothing to keep you alive. The mech, maybe, but Doppelganger, really? Still gets hit down by one of the axes for Troll, now the chase begins. Sumail doesn't have any escapability. He's got pretty much, you know, a big pool of HP. Turns back to try and fight Yules. Link off cooldown in a second, Firefly and Flame breaks low. I don't know, EG getting a little bit cocky there.
Yeah, that was definitely over aggressive there. Not too sure how much of a bearing it'll have on the overall impact. I mean, it does give away some of the advantage that they had, but again, hero-wise, this TA is just not going to scale better than the PL, and this SF is already just on a spree, really. He's just hunting for kills, and every time he wants something, he'll get it. He has 2.5k gold in the bank. I'm assuming it's... Honestly, I'm not sure if BKB helps that much this game. I feel like he might just go for like another odd utility item.
We've seen him go Refresher before.
Yeah, Refresher is an option because you have the mech as well as the Necrobook, and he might just go full utility SF. But again, just the viability of the diversity is what's so interesting to see about this hero. It's very diverse by draft.
Yeah. People always saw Shadow Fiend as, you know, a relatively weak laner, especially when there were heroes like TA, Queen of Pain, like that were picked up that would just dominate him outright. But that one change, that one buff, I don't believe he's had any others apart from the 25 across all raises increase on damage.
Not in recent times, yeah.
That's pretty much the only thing recently that's been changed. Maybe a couple of, not buffs or nerfs, but, oh my god, what's the word? Where the devs realize there's a bug and they fix it. He's been fixed. Requiem, I believe, was broken a short while ago. It wasn't really debuffing damage as it should have been. So I don't know if that's been noticed and picked up because of that. But it's mainly the raises.
Yeah. The raises, and honestly, I'll pinpoint to the Yules that he introduced at DAC. If he didn't show the Yules, this hero would not be first pick. It might be in some Chinese situations, China versus China games. It might be in certain games, it's like a game 2, we just won game 1, let's try first picking this hero. But it wouldn't be like the first pick, first stat material amongst tier 1 teams. And right now, frankly, it just is. Like, his ability to outscale every carry, and that's the thing, like, even when you outscale the enemy carry, this hero used to be so susceptible to ganks. With Yule's Scepter, the problem is just, you can't kill him right off the bat if you don't have, like, the massive amount of burst. He can just turn on you with 2,000 damage from his ultimate. Yeah, it's crazy.
You mentioned that a couple of Chinese teams might have picked him up because obviously we saw Mushi, especially.
Yeah, they like going
to the mech SF, really utilizing that, but there's never any progression from it.
Yeah, I honestly, I think that's like a really bad build. Like, if you pick SF and you want to go mech with him, honestly, you should have just picked Viper and try to close out the game. Because I guess the idea is that SF can scale, so he can kind of fall back after the mech goes wrong, where it just guarantees his survival. But this hero, you need to give him extra ways to farm. And the thing is, mech just doesn't help him farm, even if it guarantees your survival. With SF, it is true that if you guarantee his survival, he can farm because he'll just push out every wave and just farm neutrals, but mech, you want more attack speed, more damage, more regen.
Yeah, like mech doesn't always do that though, because it's not that big of a heal single target. It's mainly strong because it gives the AoE heal to the rest of your team. If you're caught out by a lot of magic damage or a couple of disables and a couple of nukes, you're still gonna die.
Pretty much. Yeah, and this hero is like the pinnacle of focus. He's always one of the heaviest presence in the game type of heroes, and when you have a player like Smell playing it all the time, it's definitely going to be on people's minds. He's going to go for the solo kill here, and this Eco, he's just going to pop.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he didn't. What happened?
He gets dropped to about 250 HP. You've got to remember the Spirit Breaker is pretty damn tanky. He's got one of the...
He is, but that combo actually does like 2,200 damage, including reductions. So I'm surprised. Maybe he was like not exactly right on top of him. Maybe that might have been.
Spirit Breaker's got Urn, Ogre Club, Strength Threads, and Magic Wand.
Yeah, I mean, that hero's tanky. Definitely one of the tankiest in the game, but...
He's probably sitting on like 2,500
HP. Pardon me?
He's probably sitting on like 2,500 HP, 2,500.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think maybe if there's like a Pudge with like 20 kills, maybe. Dear. Getting the snipe. In his own jungle. Basically handed to him.
Jumping over the cliff saying, hello, I'm here. I was farming camps a couple of seconds ago, now I'm in the middle of a team fight.
Exactly, hello and goodbye.
1,800. I thought it was a lot more. I've seen a lot of...
I mean, he's definitely very tanky.
I guess
1,800 still. Yeah.
Still level 14. I've just seen so many Spirit Breakers recently that are absurdly tanky.
Yeah, dude, the Russians, they love that hero. It's crazy. Like, the ability to just go, dive a tower because you have vision. It's just... Oh man, I hate that hero.
Spirit Breaker and Tusk. I was watching...
Yeah, they Empire, dude, they just first pick that hero. They honestly don't care. They'll still volunteer your entire lineup. They actually just don't care. And they'll win, too.
That's one of the games I was casting the other day, Empire versus VP. It had to be one of the most hectic games I have ever watched or cast or anything. It was literally non-stop action. Empire went, I don't know, 15-3 ahead, and then all of a sudden they were snowballing into the middle of VP, and then VP brought it back, and net worth graph was just absolutely nuts, going up and down.
Yeah.
And not just small swings, you know, we're talking like 8,000-10,000 net worth and experience swings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take away from this game too much, but that team is one of the strongest, I would say, in my opinion, strongest team right now. And it seems like before TI, Empire Line is always strong, but SF, Sumail, that reaction speed.
Yeah, he gets the Yules out onto Van, who pops the BKB a little bit too late, purged up now, and he's got no gap closer. Force Stab and Blink already used, he can't even lasso someone. He can get nowhere close as the Spirit Breaker just slapped down on Sumail. Charges forward on the Fear, or onto one of the creeps even now. Owie has jumped in alone, 1 versus 4, and gets an Echo Slam down, but doesn't really accomplish too much out of it. The Universe is backed up and pushed around by Ifrit, but Sumail has yet to make a big entrance with a Requiem. More than certainly does so. Not they are being dismantled here, pretty much the same fashion they did in game number 1.
Man, that reaction speed by Sumail, like I think a lot of people truly don't understand like how good it is for a hero, for a player to play a super high risk, high reward class enemy type of hero and be able to have that kind of reaction. Like the fact that he just completely rules out a Bad Rider initiation with that one item, because when Bad lands he can't blink anymore, and like, it's just too crazy. And you have a player that can pretty much guarantee it. That was a smoke gang coming out today. Well, coming out, and even if they had an idea or vision, like you just don't see the hero exactly what angle they're approaching from. Even though if he's coming from Firefly from the trees, you just don't. Then you just click on the pad before the pad can cast his blink.
Like, easy experiment like this. That Rider reached that point there and it was used. It was freaking nuts.
That guy's crazy.
Fear, 524 now though, and to come 5 max come out from not today. Probably going to get dropped here. But is that really worth it? Last time fighting against neutral PCD, the support, the lonely 5-roll support gets taken down. Even buys back into the game. Big middle finger to not today. But they've lost tier 4s, they've lost mid-ranks. Ancient is exposed.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to say that not today have a chance at coming back in this game, but at BG, it's just they don't dump their heroes into the enemy line like twice over. I think they're fine. Sumail though doesn't have the teleport skill. Spawn's technical. He knows he has to fight. He knows he just has to do this. Oh, whoa. There's no tier 1. Oh, it's the Roshan ambush.
Smash has already gone down, he's got no buyback now. He freezes up on the cliff. Not sure how he, I guess, Raw pushing it back up there. Yeah, must have done. And now Fear, right, trying to get up there, jumps over. Cole goes down, so that's 3 core heroes out. Count, not today. Break. This really what? Oh my god, that picture. Owie with the blaze. Sees the Spirit Breaker jumping across. GG is called, so in the end, EG
Dire's bottom barracks are
winning game. But again, the MLG Draw League, 1-1.
It didn't seem as clean as it could have been, but again, EG proving his dominance. They get their heroes and the right players. It's their game to take.
Yeah, definitely. That's it for us tonight. We've got quite a busy day tomorrow, starting at 11 AM CET with a bunch of Southeast Asian games for the MLG.